Hello everybody, I'm Harry Hoffman. Welcome to the Double H Show. We are just over 24 hours away between kickoff between the Baltimore Ravens and the New England Patriots in Foxborough for the AFC Championship game. We're talking that and Giants 49ers. I'll give you my X Factors and my picks to the game. Get ready, this is the Double H Show. Start off with the first game of the day. That would be the Ravens and the Patriots. It is the rematch of the 2010 wildcard game that was played in Foxborough and where the Ravens got the better of the New England Patriots. Now, tons of speculation has been around Joe Flacco and that Ravens offense this week, so that's a big part of this game. But the main thing is for the Baltimore Ravens is they need to get to Tom Brady and they need to get to him early. They have to put pressure on him. They got to put him on the ground. You cannot let Brady sit in that pocket and just pick his spots because he will tear your defense up if you give him time in that pocket. So I think that's a big key for the Ravens defense, not only to lock down Hernandez and Ron Gronkowski, but to get to Brady early and to put pressure on that offense. Now to Joe Flacco. Ed Reed's comments earlier in this week. So maybe I think his confidence is shaken a little bit, but he needs to get rid of all those bad vibes and he needs to put away all the criticism that has been surrounding him. He didn't play well against the Houston Texans. That defensive line got to him very often. So, you know, he has to have a big game. Like I said earlier, if this gets into a shootout between him and Brady, I think we can all agree that Brady's going to get the better of him in that case. So I think the X factor for this game and for the past couple games for the Ravens is once again Joe Flacco. If he has a big game and the Ravens defense holds New England to 20 and under, I think the Ravens have a good shot to win this game. And I also think Ray Rice needs to get going on the ground game. Only 60 yards last week. If he could get going, that'll open up the play action for Flacco, and that'll give him some leeway and to throw the ball freely. But Brady, Belichick at home for the AFC Championship game, I think they're going to roll on. I think Flacco, his confidence is not where it has to be to beat the New England Patriots, and I think the Patriots will roll 24-13 in a rough, tough fighting game against the Ravens. Now the late game 49ers and the Giants in San Francisco for the NFC title. Rain is expected, but I really don't think it'll affect either team whatsoever. Both are used to playing in tough conditions. Giants just came back from a freezing game in Lambeau, and San Francisco, the weather is always unpredictable, so I think both teams will be fine. I think that Alex Smith and Eli Manning, who, if he gets into a shootout between those two, what a great watch that will be. And, I really don't know if it gets into a shootout who has the edge, because Alex Smith proved to us last week that he could put up points against Drew Brees and New Orleans Saints, and Eli Manning's been playing great in the past couple weeks. So it's going to be a great matchup. I think if the Giants can get to Alex Smith, that will be huge because this is Smith's probably the biggest game of his life. Never been to the NFC title game, and this is huge for him in this city, who haven't won in so long. So I think if the Giants can rattle him early, that'll put him in a bad mindset, and the Giants' confidence is unbelievable right now. It is sky high. They are just rolling. I think if they get that run game together like they have in the past couple weeks, and they open up the passing game for Eli, it is going to be very tough to beat them. And of course, that defense is playing great as always. For them, they do need to shut down Vernon Davis because that has been Alex's big target lately. So if they can shut him down and get to Alex Smith, I think it's going to be a big W for the Giants. And I am picking them to win 24-17. I like the Giants to play the Patriots in a rematch of the 2008 Super Bowl. I think that would be a great game. Brady against Eli. and maybe some revenge from Brady because he lost his perfect season to those same Giants. So those are my picks and keys to the game. Should be a great Sunday AFC and NFC championship game. Remember, kickoff is at 3 between the Ravens and the Patriots. I will be back here Monday to give my reactions, to look ahead to mini look ahead to the Super Bowl, and of course tons of post-game coverage between both teams. Last night, the Knicks lost again to the Milwaukee Bucks 100-86, and the Lakers also lost to the Orlando Magic. I want to talk about the Lakers and the Knicks for a little bit and their struggles. Let's start with the Knicks. 3-5 at home this season, but it's not really about their play at Madison Square Garden because they haven't been terrific on the road either. Just their offense just looks stagnant, and they come down the floor. You still don't have a true point guard. They send Jeremy Lin down to the D-League, who in fact had a triple-double last night, so maybe he'll be coming back soon. But Tony Douglas and Amon Shumpert are having trouble running that team. The offense is trying to go through Melo, but it's a lot of isolation. Amari Stoudemire at times takes bad shots, and when he puts the ball on the floor, it doesn't look too good. It results in a couple of turnovers. Tyson Chandler, not really an offensive weapon, playing okay in the defensive side, but just the whole team looks like it's lacking effort and that it's just being lazy. And they're, I don't even think the problem is at the defensive side right now because they can't even score points. They can't even get to 100, and that's where they always used to be. So I think they got to worry more about the offense right now because if you can't score points, you're not going to win ball games anyway. I think Melo and Amari are still trying to find ways to mesh, and they're still looking for a true point guard. Until they find that, I don't think this team can go very far because last season into this season, it doesn't look like it's gotten much better, even with the addition of Tyson Chandler. So I think they have many things to work out. And if it starts to get even worse soon, I don't think Mike D'Antoni is going to be around for too long because this team wants to win now, and Mike D'Antoni might not be the right person for that job. The Lakers also coming off a loss to the Magic. They lost earlier in the week to the Miami Heat. Also, troubles on the offensive side. It's a lot of isolation for Kobe and Powell. And, even though Andrew Bynum's playing at a high level, they just can't seem to score many points. They don't have a fourth or fifth option. They're trying to find guys like McRoberts and Fisher and Morris and Ebanks. But the team on the offensive side just looks stagnant. And Mike Brown, I know he's a defensive coach, but their offense needs to get going. It needs to have more of a flow, and because you have one of the best players in the game, and you have Andrew Bynum and Pau Gasol, two other great players. So this team obviously has tons of potential, as they've shown in the past couple of years. But right now they're somewhat in a slump at 10-7. They haven't beaten any really good teams yet, as they coming off a loss to the Heat and the Magic. Dwight Howard might help out, but you have Kobe and Dwight and nobody else really. They might struggle as well. So tons of speculation where Dwight and Darren Williams from the New Jersey Nets are going. One of them could end up at the Lakers by the end of the season because they both can opt out of their contracts and become free agents. So tons of choices where these two players can go, and we'll take a look more into that as the season moves along and teams are looking for trades. But right now the Knicks and the Lakers are slumping. They need to get better on the offensive side, and then they can get back to winning. Thank you everybody for watching us. I'm Harry Hoffman. This is the Double H Show.